almost went bankrupt twice, right? And my parents and full family vow that they wouldn't want me to be an entrepreneur. Never, never. They want me to run the normal race, get a degree, be a doctor, banker, lawyer per se. That's about it. But innately, there's a rebellious nature. Like, nah, I'll prove you wrong. Kind of thing.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Modern Wealth Podcast, where we aim to enrich, empower, and evolve your lives. Today we have a very, very special guest. He's a very dear friend of mine. In fact, I train him almost every other day in the gym, right? He's a very close friend of mine. He's a business partner of mine as well. And, he's none other than Ryan. So Ryan has, started, scaled, exited multiple companies for tens of millions of dollars in his early 30s. He started his entrepreneurship journey, guys. You wouldn't believe this, right? But when he was like a baby, okay, maybe not baby lah, right?
Oh, baby.
But when he was very, very young in like primary school, secondary school, he was already out doing business and stuff. And he always had this knack for entrepreneurship, for really growing businesses, right? So today, it's going to be a very special episode because we're going to be talking about business. We're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about how exactly do you start? How do you scale? How do you make multi-millions of dollars, right? So again, if that's going to be interesting for you, amen, you will get crazy value from this session. So let's start right now. Ryan, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thanks for inviting.
Dude, if you can share, give us a bit of an introduction about yourself, right? Who are you? Where do you come from? How do you get started on this entire entrepreneurship journey?
Wow, that's a mouthful actually. I mean, very much for me, my entrepreneurship started really young. I mean, the first hustle is very much primary school, primary 5, primary 6. I do recall at the point of time, my parents, at the point of time, was asking me, what do I really want? They motivate me very much by money, like $1A, $50, so and so forth. So I clock my enough is, I get almost what I want at primary school, but it's always never enough. So at that point of time, you recall, like at primary school, people are doing what? They are trading Pokemon cards, right? So eventually I became the black market of Pokemon cards.
Wow.
So I clock out enough is, at the point of time you play Pokemon cards, you don't really play the game. It's about comparing, or show off lah, ego lah, right? So at the point of time, I was buying Pokemon cards, booster packs in mama shops. I clock out enough is, and eventually I asked my parents, hey, I want to have a whole deck. Where can I get it? My parents say, Ryan, why don't you go and source out? You source out, you have enough is, you clock it out. So I record that at the point of time, I used my dad email at that point of time. At the point of dial out, dial out everything, email everything, and there's only two sources where you can get your cards, Japan or US, right? So Japan, unlikely, like, well, Japan cards are all Japanese, so it's only a US card. So I use my dad company and very much email the wholesalers in US and fork out enough is to bought a crate of Pokemon cards.
Wow.
So eventually when that happened, I have everything. I'm the one in school, like, wow, I have the whole deck. But what I realized is an opportunity because I have so many leftover cards. I was thinking, what can I do with the cards? Cannot be putting it at home, right? So what I did is eventually became a black market. Mama shop are selling close to like a bundle of, if you recall at the point of time, it's 5 to 10 cards, I can't remember, 5 to 10 for $1, I sell it for 80 cents. I undercut the market.
Okay.
Then you recall like those foil cards, the expensive card, Charizard, Blastoise, Mewtwo per se. They are ranging like $50, $60. I just slashed 20% off, just to get rid. And it became a business.
Wow.
So at the point of time, I recalled, I think primary 5 or primary 6. At the monthly basis, I'm racking close to $200, $300 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, but that is also one downfall because eventually you mix with the bad company, you think you're above everyone and everything, and this went spiral.
What spiral happened, bro? What spiral happened?
You didn't really go to school.
Oh,
you
Ponteng school.
Yeah, Ponteng school, everything, and there's a lot of complaints and everything. If parents say something, you say otherwise, just go out of the house.
So do you do well for PSLE or do you flunk it? What happened?
Not good.
Oh, you didn't do well for PSLE?
Yeah, I passed PSLE,
Okay.
just enough to be in the last class
Okay.
in secondary school.
Oh, wow.
Last class, really.
Okay.
Last streaming, last class and everything. Yeah, but thank God I managed to go to secondary school.
Wow. So you went to Express or what, bro?
No, I went, I didn't tell you what,
No.
the worst class.
Serious?
Yeah, you can't even guess my PSLE score.
Dude, tell me, bro.
Yeah, you serious?
Yeah, for real.
Okay, I give you 3 tries.
Bro, I will say 240, bro.
Serious?
Dude, you're a smart guy, man. No?
Okay, one more try.
Okay, if you say lowest, I will say maybe 180 maximum.
Okay, I think way lower actually.
Way lower.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I did it.
Uh.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the school accept me everything. It's double digit lah.
Double digits.
Yeah, 97 I think. 97, 96, I can't remember.
Bro, you didn't even try, bro. 97, are you serious?
Yeah, serious, 96. Yeah. So I remember, I think there's only 4 or 5. I think I flung 1 or 2 because I didn't really attend the exam.
Wow.
Then eventually got 96, 97 because at the point of time I didn't even go to school everything. I mean, you have pocket money
No
and
shit,
everything.
bro. Are you serious?
Yeah.
But it's because you just didn't attempt lah, right?
I think very much because you are playing. At that point of time, I remember it's like BMX bike, skateboard, and everything, and you're like out there.
So you went to secondary school, and what happened, bro?
Okay, so at secondary school, I went into. My mom cried and everything.
Yeah.
And that's very much. He applied to all the school, and he want me to be like a saint, right? So I that's quite interesting. Because my mom is a Catholic, so he applied to all the saint. Then there's few saint. She overlooked. St. Margaret, St. Hilda's. Okay. You know the girls' school?
Okay.
I just put it in.
Okay.
So after I came back, how come the girls' school? Yeah, but in the end, I went in SE, St. Andrew.
St. Andrews.
Yeah, the very worst class. And at that point of time, I mean, for me, I'm not really good at my language at that point of time. I flunked my language, but I'm really good at math, right? So at that point of time, we are no longer playing Pokemon cards anymore. Really. Is the next game. So the next game is very much online. I mean, we do a lot of gaming on Maple Story at that point of time. Yeah, then I saw opportunity. So at that point of time, you're playing games and everything. And the idea is you want to shortcut the life. So what I did at that point of time, which is the second hustle, I went RIC, MRIC to buy more or less like a vacuum hack per se, like a little illegal per se, right? And offer power leveling services. So meaning to say that, hey, how does this got started? Because I want to be ahead of my peers. So what are the shortcut in life? Okay, hacks and everything. So I leverage and tap on hacks and everything at that point of time. And I level up very fast. I game the system. And upon gaming the system, I was thinking what to do next. And that's where the opportunity came about. Can I offer my friends that service? Right? So eventually, from one friend become 2 friends, become a couple of friends. And it became money-making machine.
How much did they pay you for this, bro?
There's different tiers, 0 to 30, 30 to 70, 70, 120.
Okay.
So on average, for the whole cycle, I make a good $300 to $400.
Wow.
Yeah, per whole cycle. But when I have like, so easily I have 10 account, it's really 3 to 4K a month, right? Or per week per se, depending on how fast I level up. But that doesn't make my money. Because when you render my service to power level, right? What happened is very much. It's just about me hiring someone, pressing a button, all the monsters go to one corner, we buff and everything, and we'll just be circulating 24/7 along and level up fast. But by doing so, the byproducts are what? The drops, the mesos, the currencies.
Yes, the currencies.
Right, and who keep it?
You keep the
I keep
currency?
it. Yeah, then eventually based on this, right, I have a lot of currency, a lot of, at that point of time, white scroll, brown work glove and everything, and wow, this is a real money game, man. I'm selling like $1 million for $20, $25.
So you're selling the pesos,
Yeah.
Wow.
Selling the mesos and then selling like +6, +7 accessories per se, and go up to $200.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
So at that peak of secondary 1 to 3, I think on average is 2K to 5K. I can go to 5K.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane, bro. So do you not study again, bro?
No, because I think I'm pretty good at math, and from the worst class, which is normal tech, right?
Yep.
I went into normal. I promoted to normal academic.
Okay.
Yeah. And normal academic, I was thinking, hey, that's not too bad. I can take some express lessons and everything. But I realized that the moment you go to express, there's no such thing of playing already. You have to mark.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm thinking like, oh, it's so easy to promote. But I didn't very much went to express. I retained 1 more year. Yeah.
So I took 5 years. And you retained 1 more year.
Yeah, I took 5 years, right? And based on that 5 years journey, fortunately enough, did pretty well at everything, right? And I more than got accepted to JC per se, but I didn't really like the whole flow.
JC,
yeah. At the point of time, because I think there's affiliate SAJC and a few others. And there's the first 3 months, right? And I was thinking, okay, go down there, quite cool. Like, I mean, SAJC and I mean, the good attire. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
they're one of the best attires.
Yeah, that's true. That's my school as well.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
What, SAJC?
Yeah.
I mean, the male and the female as well. Yeah, so anyway, I went down there and didn't really like, to mark again, see. Then I'm thinking, okay lah, to take calculated risk, you go to poly, right? And from JC, you went to poly, you parachute to the best class in poly. So at that point of time, I recalled, apply a little late, and I think close to the end of first or second semester. And at the second semester, there's only 2 courses that set me, right? One is nursing.
Very serious.
Yeah, and second is engineering.
Okay.
But I didn't take nursing lah. I took engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. So back then in secondary school, I was thinking, wow, you need to play the catch-up game and everything, right? So based on the catch-up game, I took a lot of leadership potential, I would say position as much as possible. Yeah. So I'm class president, CCA president or chairman per se, so and so forth, right? And back then at poly, right? Eventually came in my first official business. Yeah. So my first official business. So think about it. The whole journey is at primary school. Making maybe 3-digit, 4-digit per se. At secondary school, I became around 4-digit or 5-digit. Yeah. Then at poly per se. Okay, before I move on to the first business and everything, this is where my first foray on making 5-digit. So how does that happen, right? Is events actually. I host a lot of events, underage events.
Okay.
Selling tickets.
Sure, selling tickets.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And per event can go up to like net profit 5-10K.
Wow.
Get runners to run it and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is before 18.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
poly
holding
before 18.
underage parties.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most ridiculous one, I find that, hey, that doesn't really make sense to keep selling tickets. Why not host my own event? So I went to Aloha Changi and booked the chalet, get my DJs and everything,
Okay.
and I sell tickets. That one, good money.
Yeah.
So people know me from, you work hard or you party harder.
Definitely, bro.
So that's at that point of time, that's poly. I was never this color. I always in blonde hair.
Oh,
gold
really?
hair.
Wow.
Never short. Always long hair.
Long hair.
Yeah. So at that point of time,
blonde.
it's all the K-pop,
J-pop and
yeah,
K-pop,
K-pop
yeah.
style and everything. So always long hair, always a blonde hair kind of thing. And at poly, at that point of time, that was the early days of poly and everything. The later days of poly, this is where my first official hustle happened, right? Where I more or less co-founded my first ever company that I exceeded. Okay, the company, what it does is, that was 3 to 4 years before I would say Carousel opened. So it's a technology that essentially can take a phone, right? You can, let's say you want to sell this cup and everything, you take photo, you auto go through the platform, right? But in this platform, what it is, right, is you transact through tokens, right? Why? Because back in the days, I play a lot of arcade. So I know, okay, for 10 tokens, you buy one token 50 cents, but you buy 10, you get it cheaper. Yeah, so for consumers, they go in and buy tokens, right, to exchange. And apart from that, they solve ease of uploading everything in at a real-time basis. If you recall, at a point of time, there's Mocha, there's quite a few competitors. But one of the key things is when you upload things online, even to a blog shop per se, you need to resize it, you need to pixelize it. You need to have a little basic understanding of coding, right, and resizing. And that's one of the issues that the industry face. So what we do is essentially you overwrite this whole thing through an application. Why so? Because at a point of time, or how do I enter this business is at a point of time, back to poly, I'm taking engineering. So I know like basic coding, Python, C++, C# per se, and that's got my foray into that marketplace. Yeah. So that didn't move further. Why? Because of army. So upon entering army, there's an investor came in and said, hey, why don't I just take it off of you, right? You have this technology, and I would say that's my first SE yeah, where I got a good 5-figure before army. And when you have a good 5-figure in the army, you're party all the way.
So you really just party all
You
the
see
way.
me in Butterfly, Zoom filter, and I find it a bit too costly. Then when you turn 18, you got a first car, burn a lot of money in cars, then you'll just chong up to KL and party again.
You're 18 years old, your first car started living the life, huh?
18 years old,
Wow.
18 first car, then move on to second car, third car, fourth car kind of thing. Keep upgrading.
Yeah, sure.
But I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, I think. Because I've been burning so much money on cars, upgrades to zeng here, zeng there, and like upping max. So that's more or less the journey in poly, right? For me, I'm like more or less the class chairman, everything. And I must say, one of the key factors that push forward is it's more toward my mom, right? Because at that point of time, my mom believed in controlled mess, right? So she wasn't like when you go to a party and everything, she rather be around. But I remember when I was first 18, when I turned 18, I think my birthday or what, she brought me to Butterfact and she opened a table with all my friends.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy, man.
Cool
And,
mom, huh?
Yeah, and my friends would come over to my house and my mom would become a banker.
Okay.
She bought shot glasses and everything, and she drink with my friends and everything, play games. And next morning, she bought
Interesting.
tea round for them to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, so she believed in controlled mess.
Okay.
So when that happened, we party hard, but we study as well.
Okay.
So fortunately enough, in poly, based on 3 years, a good 80% of the cohort in my class went to university.
Okay.
Yeah, NUS, the 3 local U.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I'm fortunate enough to got accepted to NUS.
Yeah.
First in engineering, but I didn't like it, like direct second year.
Yeah.
Then I went in to take business.
Business, okay.
Yeah, but even in business, I take my time off. I could have graduated in 2.5 years.
Yep.
But I took 7.
7 years. Shit, this was after army. It took 7 years to graduate.
Yeah.
Until your dean came to you.
Tell me, Ryan, you have to graduate. No, you have to pay double school fee. But well, you wouldn't want to be my schoolmate in uni,
why is
to
that?
be honest. Yeah, because back in uni, I was running my second official business, right, which is a growth consultancy. Right. At the same time, apart from growth consultancy, I would say growth hacking agency per se. So you go to companies per se, and a company will approach me and say, Ryan, let me growth hack this portion, and I'll get a net profit off that gig. So I recall like there's a few campaigns that I run, and it's an easily 5-figure for 3 or 4 month project. Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, that's not too bad. So that's one. Second is also focusing heavily on turning a business from contract manufacturing, right, or from a trading company into a contract manufacturing, and eventually exceeding to the partners back in the days. So you can see me flying around. Why you wouldn't want to be my schoolmate? You can only see me for the first day, in the middle, at the end.
Wow.
Yeah. And how do I graduate at within 7 years, right? Because the last 3 years, I think I took 9, 8, and 7 more, like 2 semesters worth of module in 1 semester.
Wow.
But you need to work the smart way. So the one I took 9 module, I remember taking 4 or 5 A's.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like crazy. Why? Because I got around, I think 30 to 35 students, right, to work on one project.
Okay.
So I go to the finance mod and say, hey, I take the marketing. I go to marketing, I say I take the finance, and I collate the annual report and all A's.
Okay.
So I need to work smart.
What the heck, man? Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So based on this, at the point of time, why I take 7 years, because my interest at university is fundamentally number one, to learn module that as of my interest. That's number one. I would say network with the professors, because they are, I would say, someone in the industry, right? Building connections. And third, look for potential co-founders, which I did, right? And that became my my recent last business.
Yes.
Right, where I built it up to close to 8 figures in valuation, and sold it off 2 years ago. Yeah.
And that was the biggest exit.
That's the biggest exit.
That's the
And
biggest exit.
I mean, we got grace very much. My dad's got me my 4th lease, my age 35 under 35 lease.
What was the company? What was the business exactly?
Okay, it's also a little interesting. So that business alone started based on personal issues. Because me myself, I used to suffer from childhood asthma and sinus for the longest.
Yep.
So you will recall, right, back in the days of the last 10 years per se, there's a lot of burning in Indonesia, right? And the haze is very bad, it's rampant, it's year on year. Right? So me myself, at the point of time, very kiasu, like, hey, I have 6 to 7 air purifiers, because that was the only solution. So from a Taobao kind, all the way to a Samsung, because I refused to buy the big one. But apparently, a bit cheapskate, the small one spoil. Then I keep upgrading, then I've been spending more. Then the moment I buy the big purifier, I realized that, wow, shit, the purifier is 300-400, then the filters, $few $100 or so. Wow, too low, man. So I saw a technology in another industry, back days in China, Taiwan, and I was thinking, hey, can I infuse that technology in paint? That technology is a catalyst that breaks down pollution, right, into paint. And I was doing some math, like, hey, the richest person in Asia is Go Qianliang, Nippon Paint. I'm thinking, okay lah, I mean, aim for the sun, the most fall for the moon, aim for the moon, the most fall to the earth, right? Okay lah, let's create a paint company, right, and fight with the giant, the most get acquired, so on and so forth, right? So more or less, I created the world's first paint that can purify the air.
Wow.
So the moment you can paint your rooms, you can smoke the room, you can eat mala the room, you can cook hot pot and everything, the wall will bring down pollution.
Wow.
Yep. I must say it's a hell of a journey. Yeah, we went through the VC route to raise money, valuation after valuation. We bootstrapped it. I must say the journey is not easy because there's 3 instances, if I recall, where I would tell my employees, guys, although back in the head, paper money, I have like, wow, few $1 million worth of paper money already. Guys, we only have 3 months runway. You guys can look for another job.
But what do you mean with paper money you have, but then...
No, because you based on valuation,
Oh,
right?
valuation,
But
okay.
actually you are burning and you can't really hit that growth yet of profitability because you are burning too much.
Yep.
Yeah, then until a bank account left like 3 months, 4 months, and you have to go to employees, tell them, hey guys, you can look for another job. But fortunately enough, we pull through lah. Yeah.
Wow, that was crazy, man. And the company grew to what, 100 people, more than 100?
Yes, we have a building, 3-story building, 2 warehouses, close to 100 people.
Wow.
Yeah, within 3.5 to 4 years.
Wow, that was crazy
Yeah,
growth,
that's crazy.
man. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's about,
crazy.
yes, and it's about managing different stakeholders
Wow.
and wow, the learning journey is crazy, man.
Wow,
It's really crazy.
dude, I think there are a lot of lessons you would have actually learned from there, lah, right? So, because after that you took a break, you traveled the world, took a chill pill, right? Like just chill around, snowboard, doing whatever you want to do. But in that journey of building, right, you literally ate glass. You went through the lows of lows. You build it up. You were the co-founder all the way up to over 100 packs. What would you say were some of your main, biggest, hardest challenges, bro?
Wow, challenges. I think there's plentiful.
And what do you learn from it? What's the
Okay.
main thing you learned from it with regards to entrepreneurship?
Okay, 90% of my time is spent on, I would say, the business, right? And building business and everything. So I recall at a point of time, I'm being very aggressive, meaning to say my schedule. Think about it is, you need to keep fit. You need to be on vitamins. The moment one day I'm not on vitamin, I'll fall sick at downtime really. So it's like you are overdrive. How the schedule works is like 6 to 7 you wake up everything, you go to the gym, right, or for a run. Then you try to be in the office before all the employees. So that's around 8:30 or 8:45. At 9, you have back-to-back meetings all the way until 6, internal meetings and everything. Then normally for 6 to 2 or 3 a.m. there's round 1, round 2, or round 3 of dinner with clients, networking, drinking. And this repeats Monday to Friday. Then on Saturday you're like drained already. You're like taking a break, KO already. Then on Sunday, go to church with Penna.
Wow.
Yeah, go to church with Penna. Then one of the things that I said is every Monday we have a monthly meeting, weekly meeting, and all department head will have to send me a pre-reading beforehand by by Saturday night or Sunday noon. So I spend 6 p.m. onwards to review the last week. At the same time, to value add, doing research for the Monday presentation. Yeah, so my life just went through like that.
Wow.
And in the blink of eyes, it just, 3 to 4 years. So back to learning lessons and everything. One of the few things that I learned is, or the biggest I must say, is there's a lot of shining objects. Yeah. There's a lot of shining objects. So meaning to say that, hey, you are this business, you are doing this right now, a paint business, but suddenly there's certain things that are shining. You're thinking like, hey, should I be touching it? Should I be exploring it? But the moment you touch doing this, your attention span is split, right? Then when that happened, then nothing happened again. Oh, that's split again. That keeps splitting. Then when you start to reflect, you realize that shit, the fundamental things are not doing well. Why are you exploring so many things, right? So it's a lot of the thesis of like, there's this meme where you are digging a mine, and suddenly people say, hey, there's another mine, there's another diamond there.
Yes.
Right, a goal is there, and then you are just one step for the goal, move on to other things.
Oh man.
Wow, that's crazy, and I learned it the hard way, very much, right? Of not being focused and everything. So one of the key things of solution that I implement on this, right, is about this framework. I call it the mission vision framework. It's a triangle. Think about it, right? So on top of the triangle, the textbook style is mission and vision is a little different. For me, I start off with vision first, right? So what's our vision? Our vision is to fly to the moon, assuming, right? To fly to the moon and everything. Then there will be one mission. So to fly to the moon and fly to the sun is different, right? You need to prepare different things. So you fly to the moon. Then from there, the triangle, you break out into 2 missions. So what is mission to me? Mission is like you go to army, Chong Swa, like a SWAT team kind of thing. you want to conquer and then move out, right? So to fly to the moon, what you need to do? Two things. You need to find an astronaut, people to fly the plane or fly the rocket, and the second, very much to build a plane. You see, so this comes into these two things. You see, in the moment you say you're flying the sun, the whole mechanism change really. You need to think about the heat and all kind of thing, right? Then from one mission, I break it down into 3 goals. Right, so let's say you want to find an astronaut. Why the 3 goals, right? You want to find perhaps you do you post an advertisement in Yellow Pages. You do Facebook advertisement. You find them in LinkedIn, but you can't find it that way, right? But that's business. The answers are not I would say in your face, and this is where you need to do repetitive iteration or testing. This is very straightforward. You see, these 3 doesn't make sense. You can't find an astronaut in Yellow Pages and everything, right? And with each goal, you break down again to 3 objectives, right? So objectives say, hey, in Yellow Pages, what's my KPI? Right, my KPI to fill my pipeline of 100 interviews or 100 screening back to maybe 10 interviews every week, every month. And from there you measure our way. And based on this, in terms of management wise, right, the top 2 triangle is always fixated. You don't change. Because it's a pendulum effect. The moment you change, wow, the whole business is chaotic. 100 people to maintain. So you always go to maintain your vision and your mission to be fixated. The rest, leave it to the managers to sprint, to iterate, to change, to fail per se, right? It's about failing forward. Yeah. So in terms of learning lesson, I must say these are the biggest learning lessons. One of the second thing is that I face at a point of time is also decision paralysis. When you want to go to one topic, but wow, you read so many content and everything, and in the end you get confused. Really, you get confused. You're thinking, well, there's this guru, that guru, and everything, and when that happens, you don't take action. You see, so you'll be planning. Then after a while, you realize, shit, I should just take action. So and that's very, very important. So with this, what I do is map down my triangle, right, and I say, okay, based on this learning, does it hit 60% of my objective? My rule is 60 or 70. 60%. Say, is answer yes, I'll do another 40. It is 40% based on the risk, and I able to absorb that risk, right? If the answer is yes, I look for 1 or 2 others and tell them, hey, are you able to absorb this risk? You move away.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the question is, in business, it's about speed. It's not about perfection. As what they say, it's no longer the bigger fish that win a race. It's the fastest fish. Yes, it's the fastest
with your
fish.
speed of implementation.
The speed. Yeah. So it's about failing. It's about iterations, multiple iterations after iterations.
Got to try and go again, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that's my second biggest. The top 2, I would say, the top 2 biggest learning factor. The third one, well, which I believe many of even for you or many of audience are also entrepreneurs are also a victim of this, is you're overly sentimental to your employees. Meaning to say, you find someone that's bad or good fit, you just like, give chance, 1-2 chance. Then at the end of business, they're the bottleneck. Right? Because you're overly attached. Right? I mean, even for you as well, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So that the early days, like, wow, the early employee will jump all together. But the question is, are they growing in tandem or in respective towards the growth of company? Are they relevant at the point of time, right? Or are they capping the growth? And that's very important.
Very
so
interesting.
Even for me, I'm like super sentimental, right, to friends and everything. I want the best to them. So with this, to solve this, is to measure things both objectively, right, and subjectively, right. Subjective, well, is about emotion and everything. It's a bit hard to say, so I always make it objective. So for a company that I grew, there's always how it works is for every employees, we map down. Okay, there's 2 things we focus on to make sure that, hey, I can able to solve this issue. The first is focusing heavily on process, right? Is that process enable or the employees to be there, to be motivated, or can the process without the employee, without you being in charge, right? That's the first thing. The second is empowerment, right? Do you give the employees the empowerment to do things, autonomy to do things, and are you empowering them to grow, which is important, right? So for every employees that come to me in the past, I will tell them, hey guys, well, this whole journey that you have in my previous company is a stepping stone. Now you are 1.0. You are serving a need for the company, but I want you to become 2.0. what is 2.0, right? I want them to write it down, right? And every time the first day of the employment, right, even interns, I'll have one-on-one to them. I'll bring them to the bookstore, Kinokuniya per se, and I'll tell them, pick one book, I'll pay for them. And these are the books that they do with reflection, right, to level up to 2.0. So that's more or less autonomy and empowerment. You have to get it settled, right? So with this, people are willing to work extra amount. So it's about personal growth really. It's no longer about working for a company anymore. The other thing is process, right? And this is very systematic. Meaning to say that, hey, what is your job description? What is the company key result area? What is your KPI, right? And what is your threshold to hit are you hitting the minimum viable? I would say roles and responsibility to perform, right? If you are, fantastic, you'll always be there, right? The system will not weed you out. But if you choose to be at the lower bound, right, you'll always be, there's review. A letter will send over to you for a PIP, Performance Improvement Program, and within first month. And the second month, if let's say you don't hit it, the system will weed you out already.
Yep.
Yeah, you're done already. And this is all, and with these two things, I'm able to solve that emotion portion, right? Because for me, it's about shortcut in life. And I love this framework. I can't remember I read from where. X and Y axis, you can think about it, right?
Yep.
So based on the X and Y axis, up and down, right, you can talk about leadership. Left and right, it's about your skill sets. You are breaking down into 9 quadrant per se, right? The one in the extreme right, right, is essentially someone that has very good skill sets.
But no leadership.
No leadership. So it can be a very good salesperson, can be a very, very good copywriter, can be a very good marketer. But the moment you plug people under them, and that's the biggest, I would say, myth, right? That I'll try to say the biggest mistake that most entrepreneurs do. They say, wow, top salesperson, top this, promote. But the moment that happens, they crash. Because a good salesperson doesn't mean a good manager, vice versa, right? But some person that I knew, they themselves are a very good salesperson, but they're making a good 20-30K a month. They don't want to be managed, they don't want to be a manager. They like the sales, they like all these things. So the question is, can the company provide the autonomy for them to grow in that purview, right?
Without the leadership.
Without the leadership thing, means it's not capped. They can still continue to grow, right? And it's back to the company honest to make that happen. Second, I'll talk about the extreme left. Someone can be very good leaders and everything, very charismatic, no management style and everything.
But no skills.
No skills. It's all right? Are you putting them to where they are best, right? The one at the top right are essentially a superstar. I call them the management, right? So it depends on each trajectory. Where is every employee and how are you walking? What is their walk, right? End of the day, business, right, is not a transaction. I mean, most people say it's a transaction, but I must say it's a journey. Journey of not your company, but that every single employees in the company. Are you value adding them, right? It's both way. Can they value add you? Can you value add them?
Absolutely.
And when that happens, you have ultimate trust, right? And things will go exponentially.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the Modern Wealth podcast so far. There are so many brilliant insights, golden nuggets of wisdom shared by Ryan. If you've liked it so far, make sure you click on the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and comment in the comment section below. What is your biggest takeaway from this video? So Ryan, dude, that was amazing, bro. There were so many nuggets of wisdom with regards to what you need to look out for a business owner, right? How do you measure KPI, what do you need to do and all that stuff, right? Which is great, right? But let's come back to the ordinary man who's working a 9-to-5 job. He has aspirations. He wants to start a business, right? And I have a question for you, man. Today you've made your money. You built your connections, right? You have a better playing field. Let's just put it that way, right? You have better connections and everything. That's something that you've rightfully earned over the years, right? But for somebody with no money, no connections, no nothing, right? What is the best way for them to start? What would you advise them to do if they are looking to start this journey without any of these different things?
Wow, okay. That's on the premises that I will start over again or someone that is totally zero.
Somebody is totally zero, bro.
Totally zero.
Totally zero.
Wow. Okay, if let's say I'm in their shoe, learning from how I had gamed the system over the last 10 years, 15 years, since primary school all the way now, I think the first and foremost, right, is about your mental model. That's the most important thing. I can tell you the best tactics, the best strategies per se, and I can tell you certain step-by-step basis, but if your mental model is not there, you won't be able to execute it. right?
What do you mean by mental
So-
model? Do you mean mindset or what do you
Mindset.
mean? Okay.
Mindset, right? So if I'm going to go through mental model, there's a few steps, or try to say thought process, right? Because it's a lot about reflection, it's a lot about really thinking through, understanding yourself, your capability, right? And understanding the landscape. So how am I going to distill this? There's a couple of questions I'll be asking myself. I mean, the first and foremost is, ultimately, based on what I'm doing now, my whole user journey and everything, right? Am I value adding something, right? Can I value add something and everything, right? So rather than creating something, a product and everything from scratch and taking market need, is it something where along the normal user journey, am I able to look through and distill value from it? You see?
Give me an example.
So meaning to say, I mean, the classic example are all the big unicorns out there, like, hey, there's Grab, there's Facebook and everything. How does Facebook started? Well, it's only a very simple school book. I mean, they want to basically collect data of past students and everything. Then from there, it evolve one into another. They're solving a need at the point of time. So you see, there's a lot of solutions really out there already. But the question is, people tend to overcomplicate things. You see? So when I talk about mental model, I think the first and foremost is ultimately, are you focusing on something that you think you need, right, or something the industry need and everything, right? It's always that thing. Because people always look for a solution outside of the box, you see. But actually, the solution is just in front of you, right? If I'm going to look through the mental model at the same time, right, it's always this framework that I go through. I love framework because framework makes my life a lot easier, right? Success is always equal to two things. Talk, right, is value divided by friction. So where are you playing, right? It can't go wrong, right? Are you providing more value, right, in relation to the whole user journey? Are you providing more value, or are you reducing friction, making life easier per se, right? It's only these two things. And the moment your mental model is fixated towards, okay, either one, you won't be all around the place. You'll be thinking, hey, maybe it wouldn't be a case where like I'm providing value, oh, I'm also reducing cost per se. You're very fixated into one angle, and then from there you still hit with one. Yeah. So I always start with this framework or this model. Are you providing value? Divided by, are you reducing friction? So a lot of my mental model revolve. This is the first thing, right? The second thing, if I'm going to go through, is more or less, are you selling things or trying to pushing a value, or are you in a context way or in a content based way?
Content way or context?
Content based or context based,
Okay,
right?
what
It's
do
very
you mean?
different. So when I talk about content, for example, I say, hey, I'm selling you a phone, right? That's content basis. But if I'm going to say, hey, in a context basis, I'm selling you efficiency. And you say, hey, with this phone, I'm selling you communication, the ease of communication. You can get things done faster, better, and everything. So once you establish a value, either a value or friction, then you move on to the actual sales. How can you contextualize the content, which is very important, right? So the second steps for the mental model, if I go through a framework, yes, go through a user journey, run through the value chain of is it a value adding or reducing friction, and how do you contextualize the content of the solution you have, right? So it's always that mental model and everything, right? And a lot of time, when you push forward a solution, one of the key things that I see people are doing is they tend to overcomplicate things. They see a solution, they make things more complicated, like, wow, I solved something. But actually, it's just only one step. Why do you need 3 steps? To make sure that, oh, your dashboard, you have all these things, too fancy, right? So the word is simplicity is always a bliss. So I always go through that mental model is you want to build business, you want to go through day in, day out and everything. The first thing is mental model, right? Where is your mental model? Are you solving a need? Are you solving a want, right? Are you focusing, but then again, it's so back on your situation. Meaning to say, at this point of time, you see a solution and everything, you see a clear solution. Is this solution, at this point of time, worth your time to chase it? Because, well, we're talking about the normal folks, right, that essentially might not climb up the Maslow hierarchy on this yet. They are basically focusing on getting a shelter, getting food and everything before chasing dream. So if I'm going to distill it further, one train of thought, what I'm saying about all this, right, the formula is about chasing dream, right? Yes, you can collate, you can collate it and do it from start to end and everything. Meaning to say, you can start building from now. But does it something fit you at the short-term basis, right? So on the hindsight, the other segment is more towards, are you chasing a necessity or are you chasing a dream? You see, right? So for the common folks who want to basically start from scratch and everything, my first thing is, to always growth hack your way out to necessity itself, right? Chase the necessity and everything. So first thing, if I go put into a formula and everything, is mental model, right? What is your mental model? Are you chasing a necessity? Are you chasing a need or a want, right? What is the actual framework? What is the actual, based on the framework or Maslow hierarchy, where are you at right now, right? I think I'll say that's the first step. So establish where you are right now already, before you can chase or dream and everything, it's about having that shelter, feeding that up, right? Let's say you say you want to start a company, but 1 year no salary, can you attempt to do so? You'll be moonlighting, your attention will be there, everything. So solve that fundamental, right? So mental model is important, that's the first thing. If I'm going to break it down into tactical portion, right, I break it down into two things, short term and long term, right? As you know, like business, chasing dreams, building necessity and everything, it's a marathon, it's never a sprint. So, but if I'm going to break it down into a very systematic approach, what is long term? Long term is two things, health, that's one thing, because health is wealth, right? So for long term, if you're going to talk to someone that is as of scratch and everything, one priority is about health, both mental health and both physical health. Are you enriching yourself with more information day in, day out? Are you exercising every day? Are you keeping your temper healthy, everything? Because if I'm going to bring you 10 things, 20 things, 100 things to do a day, can you run the race? Rather than, after 1 month, after 2 months, you burn out already.
Sure.
So at a long-term perspective, it's health, right? And health is like breaking down into mental health and physical health. And is there any activity that support this? The second portion is short term. And short term, okay, maybe we can also mirror back to the formula, value over friction, you see? So if I'm going to contextualize that business formula into a personal life formula, right? Value, right? Value to yourself. Are you generating enough income? Do you have enough multiple stream of income, right, that can feed you, right? That's the first thing, right? Second, you have a passive stream of income through perhaps investments, so and so forth. So on top value is about income generation, right? The one below, right, we're talking about friction. What is your friction? Is very much, are you optimized? Meaning to say, your expenses, your liabilities, right? Are you maximize the game for perks per se, as what they say, like rich get richer. Why? Because they hit certain income, then a lot of things are free. Are you tapping on all these resources and everything, right? So these are short-term and mid-term basis. You more or less have to growth hack your way up. There's all tactical motion and everything, but these two will come hand in hand, right? So if I go through the layman and everything, it's really go through the mental model, understanding where are they in the whole hierarchy, right? And based on short-term and long-term goal, to really plot the whole curve and plot my execution plan, right? If I run through the actual execution per se, if I am starting from scratch, well, I think the key thing is to really understand myself and what can I provide as of value towards the other party, right? So meaning to say, if assuming I have no connections, okay, if I'm going to go back to scratch zero right now, I'll tap on my connection and everything. I'll tap on what I know, be able to value add them and everything, give and be given, right? And for them, make my money through that, or come back through that. But for a common man, I think unlikely the case, because a lot of things have not been built.
For sure.
So if I'm going to reverse that wheel, the first thing, foremost, right, is upscaling yourself. That's the first thing. Upscaling yourself through mentorship, through courses and everything. So that's the very first thing I'll do, right? So once you see a value and you can upskill yourself through all the courses and everything, now there's so many online content, right, paid, free and everything. Just go and read, go and learn, upskill yourself. Once you have that already, second is go through a phone book and see, hey, which are the friends that can fit that value that I'm interested in, you see?
Well, that's very practical.
Yeah, then when that happens, you see, you scope down and see, actually this friend is business, assuming the topic is marketing. You look through a phone book and see, okay, this friend doing business, and then just talk to them, buy them a coffee and say, hey, I just learned this, can I help you and everything? But it is for free. I just want a testimonial, right? And if this goes well, then maybe start paying me a token, right? And you're just trading off your time through something, right? So that's the second thing that I'll be doing. Once I have that ready, I'll build my basic amount of basic income, right? Okay, I can get 1K, 2K, 3K a month really, stably to feed off my expenses really and everything. Then I move on to the second phase, which is networking. Go out, network, build a network, connect to more people, everything, and grow the pie.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then after growing a pie already, then the last part is essentially optimization. Say, hey, credit cards, when you get 10K a month income, blah blah blah, all these things, perks. When you optimize this now at the start, where you're nothing, I mean, it's a zero-sum game. There's nothing to optimize. I mean, the moment you come to a certain level, then the optimizer came about really, and that optimization will become the amplifying effect. Yep. So I mean, that's how I'll do it.
Absolutely, very good, very good, very nice, very nice. As in, that was very practical advice, bro. I really, really enjoyed that. Right. Let me pull out one very important thing that I want to ask you, bro. Right. So the important thing which I want to ask you is this, bro. So very simply, one question I want to ask is, what are some unconventional approaches that you took, right? Pretty much, to achieve success in your own business, right? What are some non-traditional things that you actually did for yourself?
Non-traditional. Wow. Well, actually, there's quite a few actually.
Tell me.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of you can Google this and everything. There's a lot of solution out there, but maybe I share something that I approach, my approach and everything. For me, first, I break down the two factor. For me is I can break it down into two things. One is internally and externally, right? Externally is outside. Who do I mix up with, right? So externally, I say, hey, the unconventional thing is essentially the first thing is I don't mix with people around my age. To be honest, since part of my success, since secondary school onwards, I've been meeting and mixing people 10 years older than me. They're very successful and all these things.
Very nice.
Because
Sounds like me, bro.
That's what they say, net worth, net worth, right? I mean, that's well, I don't really resonate well with my peers, but I choose that path, right? It's a little unconventional. People are out there running through gaming and everything, but I choose not to game, I do other things out of the norm, and I shortcut the whole curve. Because why is it important? Because they themselves are human. We are human as well. They take 10 years to do so. Why can't us do the same thing, right? We have the same brain and everything. So I always challenge the status quo. Hey, you can make $1 million. You know me, you're there, I'm here as well, right? Why can't I do it? Can I learn from you to shortcut it faster? I'm sure you have a lot of learning factor, right? So the first thing that I do is always to mix with people that are way successful than me, right? And learn from them. Be really humble and everything, and really there to learn from them. And through that, be able to value add them as well. You see, it's a two-way thing, right? You can value add them through your learnings and everything, and this way they are able to share things with you. Fantastic, boom! Eventually, you get the first thing done. So, yeah, so that's I would say one of the key things. I talk about external factor, right? When I talk about internal factor, is how do I operate my modus operandi per se, right? Is a lot of time, and that's something I learned the hard way. In the past, I used to set goals, very lofty goals, like, hey, every year I set, doing New Year, everything, doing Christmas, I set my year goal, all this very lofty, I want to have 6 packs, all these things, I'll hit the income. Then after a while, 1 month, 2 months, no steam already.
Yeah, sure.
No steam.
This is very good. I remember you telling me this, yes.
Serious, no steam already. Like, fuck man, no steam already. And so what I did essentially is I break it down into micro steps, right? So in business, they call it sprint, every 2 week sprint. But I was thinking, this tip is so good in business. Like Amazon did 10,000 sprint a month, experiment. They measure failure, not success, right? Well, the more thing you fail, the more thing you learn, and more things you can change and optimize. So I use that same approach in sprint into my personal life. So every 2 weeks, my bigger goal, I break it down all the way to 2 weeks, and I tell myself, okay, Ryan, 2 weeks only, get your shit done, get things done, and leave every 2 weeks. So be it health, be it fitness, like clocking your steps, clocking your meals, clocking your gym, reading a certain information every time, or works and everything. 2 weeks, enough. Settle, move on, move for next 2 weeks.
Wow.
And when that happens, you realize that your goal is easy, right? And that compound. Every 2 weeks, compound. And the moment at the end of the year, 90% of my to do all is all achieved already. You see? So that's essentially that portion for internal. And what I do, a little unconventional itself, is challenge. Yeah, because one of the key things that sparked my entrepreneurial, I would say, journey is because of my family as well, right? Because my granddad used to run business, almost went bankrupt twice, right? And my parents and full family vow that they wouldn't want me to be an entrepreneur. Never. They want me to run the normal race, get a degree, be a doctor, banker, lawyer per se. That's about it. But innately, there's a rebellious nature, like, I'll prove you wrong, kind of thing. So with this, I think that's one thing that shaped me. So I use that as my advantage towards my day in, day out as well. Okay, 2 weeks, what challenge can I set myself? 14-day challenge, a month challenge per se, right? And keep keep challenging the status quo at the 2-week basis or 1-month basis. So are you breaking boundary month on month, week on week, right? Because you set a very lofty goal, 6 weeks or 6 months. Wow, it's a tough, it's an ordeal per se, right? But I said 2 weeks, you hit it, wow, you're charged up. Next 2 weeks, let's go. You see, yeah. So talk about unconventional. I think these are the top two. If I go label it internally and externally, these are the two things. Externally, looks for people better than you, and most importantly, look for a mentor, right? It can be someone that guide you through, like game the system. You want that mentor. You have done that so many times, everything. You just have to copy and paste, right? But you need to know where to look at it, right? And internally, right, it's about yourself. Conducting sprint, challenging yourself, understanding that hey, everything is even and everything. And most important, always have that mindset that failing is good. It's about failing forward, right? Embrace failures. Because success is not built over success. I mean, like you're successful all the way, it might be a one-trick pony. At the moment one thing crash, wow, you're already, then down already, right? Success is built over multiple iteration of failures, and it's about failing forward. What you learn from it is about deep reflection on yourself, right? So what I do, another unconventional tip is every Sunday, right, after going to church and everything, I pray for everybody, and not just that, even pray for you as well in the whole company, almost on a weekly basis. And I will do a reflection, right, on what done well for the week, top 3 things, top 4 things. What am I what do I show gratification on? And what do I do next week? That's top 3 things before I move on. That deep,
Beautiful.
that deep inner reflection of failing forward. But you must say one thing, not failing forward means you don't embrace, you keep embracing failure like everything will fail. Without thinking, without substantiating that thesis. You have to have that thesis before you fail forward.
Absolutely. Bro, I have one specific question, maybe it's a final question for this interview, right? But what are some, the world is changing so fast, so quickly. Right? Things are changing rapidly with AI, with technology, social media and everything, right? But what are some specific strategies that you would ask people to focus on for 2023 and beyond?
Specific strategy. I think is don't chase, rather than focusing on strategy per se, right? If I'm going to lay into one thing, is don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd and everything. Focus on your personal learning. Focus on your fundamental. Because if let's say, I mean, right now the things are moving so fast and everything, and if let's say you follow a crowd, you haven't even walked, you haven't even crawled, you haven't fly already, you'll crash fast.
Absolutely.
Right? So focus on fundamental. Focus on fundamental, understand what interests you, look for a mentor that can game the system and everything. And essentially learn from them, spar with them, right? And if they had done that multiple times and everything, your whole life is shortcut, right? So look for that mentor, look for someone that game the system and everything, and learn from them, right? And with this brings off more strategies, more tactics and everything. So it's always that internal reflection, internal growth. And once you have that already, that skill sets, market up, market down, you're there, right? I mean, there's market up, you can ride with the mentors and you move forward. Market down, essentially you know where to dial it back, right? Yeah, because rather than you went in and get burned because of lack of experience. So it's always that mentorship, it's always that learning, right? Like for you yourself, Modern Wealth Academy per se, is very much about the skills that you're trying to impart, be it business, health, education and everything. Being a smart investor per se, all the more having all this curriculum and learn from it to push forward. Personal growth is key.
So, Ryan is, a partner together with us in Modern Wealth Academy, right? So, Ryan, can you share with the audience how you're going to be perhaps adding value to our community, how people can achieve breakthroughs they can never achieve, right? Together with the guidance and everything.
Okay, I think that's something that I think is not yet discussed, but I think that's something I've been boiling, I think, over the last few months and everything. So, what I can do is very much, I can condense all my learning, right, put into a masterclass, a course and everything. And I'm trying to see hey, how can I actually value add individuals to growth hack their journey, right? So the keyword that I just thought of immediately is hey, are you gaming it or are you being gamed?
Are you gaming it or are you being gamed? Okay, cool. The game.
Yeah, the game, man. Yeah, so what is the true game and everything? So perhaps maybe Modern Wealth Academy can collaborate, do up a masterclass per se, and really transform life per se, right? People have not done it 0 to 1. What's 0 to 1? Multiple income stream, biohacking and everything. How can I make my life in order? How can I climb out the race of hierarchy? That's 0 to 1 perhaps, right? That could be one area. 1 to 10, you already hit certain income already. How can I reduce my expense liability, have more perks and everything that is untapped? Right? How do you game insurance? How do you game credit cards? How do you game lifestyle and everything? You see, that can be 0 to 1. That can be 1 to 10. And 10 to 100 is like, let's say you're very optimized already. It's about investments, opportunities, right? Because for me right now, as you know, like I'm running a venture studio and at the same time a venture cap arm where we invest in opportunities, and these opportunities are both venture side and private equity side that's not available for common, right? But there's a prerequisite. You need to have certain income to even play that game, right? The 10x game, I call it the moonshot game. You see, so it's a very step-by-step process, and perhaps that's something we can work together to bring value to the audience.
Awesome. So guys, again, you want to be in touch with Modern Wealth Academy. You want to be part of the community. Why? Because we have brilliant people like Ryan who work together us very, very closely to bring exclusive opportunities to our audience as well. Right. So I hope you guys found this video absolutely beautiful, guys. I learned so much. There were so many actionable advice and tips. And dude, a guy who got 97 points can also make it, right? Like for real, right? Nothing should stop you. I hope that story inspired you guys, right? The spirit of entrepreneurship was truly amazing, Ryan. Thank you so much for sharing. And Ryan, they can't really find you, right?
Through Modern Wealth Academy.
Through Modern Wealth Academy, that's how they can find, right? He's not exactly very available on social media.
Yeah, I need to buck up on there.
Sure. Right, but through Modern Wealth Academy, you guys can get in touch with Ryan as well. Right, guys, so again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. One more time, make sure you like this video. Share in the comment section what you like most about Ryan and what you learned best about this video as well. And most importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe so you get notifications of our future videos. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you all in our next video.